Do you ever think you'd like to open your own bakery?
You know, I've been doing research on different places on where's the best to own a bakery. And unfortunately, this isn't the perfect time to open up a storefront because of our economy. However, I think probably in the future, maybe. But now that this model is really working for my company, that I'm afraid to change the formula, if you will.
Nice. So do you also do things for weddings?
I do. We actually have our Love Bites, once again, it's our featured product. And those are used for wedding favors. And we also have groom's cakes, which are the larger brownie cakes that we decorate.
Nice. So if you got a special request, say if they wanted a bouquet sent to the bride, would you be able to honor that, or would you send that? Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're here. We're full service bakery.
Okay. What other things do you like to do besides, I know that you love to make your brownies and have your business and work at Sonato's. What other things do you enjoy to do outside of?
Outside of brownies. It's funny that you would mention that. I have currently been working on my MBA.
Awesome.
Intermittently over the last 5 years.
Okay.
So I've been working on my MBA.
Okay.
And between working on my business and earning my degree, there really isn't a whole lot of time outside of that.
Okay. Okay. You also like working with children, right?
I do. I am a big sister of Santa Clara County.
Nice.
So I mentor troubled teens.
Awesome.
And we have a phenomenal time. I take them various places, and it's really nice to give back to the community.
Okay, great. That's
so between
excellent.
mentoring and brownies and school, there isn't a whole lot of time outside of that.
All right. So with the mentoring, what exactly do you do?
So most of these teens are either they're troubled in emotional fashion or in an academic way. So I actually assist them in tutoring. In terms of either in academics or in other ways. So it's pretty amazing how much you can learn about yourself through other people.
That's great. That's
so
really
I've been
great.
doing that for quite a few years now.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, is there any questions you'd like to ask me, or is there anything else?
Well, our brownies are almost done.
Oh, okay.
And once they're
getting there.
Yeah, look at that. Those confection ovens are just amazing.
Yeah.
This cuts the cooking time down by at least 30 minutes.
Would you suggest this for someone who's at home, a confection oven versus a regular conventional oven, if they were doing some baking?
That would be a really good idea, although I would warn you for the fire hazards. Because it gets really hot in a really short period of time. So therefore, it is pretty challenging to monitor. But it's such a nice oven to have anyway, because you know our grandmothers have refrigerators in the garage.
Right, the freezer,
or freezer thing,
yeah,
right?
The freezer.
My grandmother has 2 of them. And she would love to have something like this just to bake other things. So I think they definitely are very handy. I love carrying mine around. So.
Awesome.
We're just about done.
Okay.
We'll have fresh brownies for everyone.
Oh, lovely.
Now, I did bring some of the 4-inch size.
Okay.
Should I go grab those?
Yes. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
And I believe, and so the brownies are done.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
We can get those out of the oven.
Alrighty. They smell wonderful.
Thank you. Like I said, they cook in half the time, which is very nice. It's also handy if you have a little fan to cool them really quickly.
With. Very nice. They're so cute.
Thank you. Love Bites. Bite-sized, heart-shaped brownies.
Awesome. So I wanted to talk to you some more about dyslexia.
Yes.
And how did you come to find out that you had it? And maybe you could explain a little bit more how you became diagnosed with that.
Sure. What was really challenging is through elementary, junior high, and high school, I always thought that I was a little bit slower than everyone else. You know, you take some classes and someone would say, I got an A. You're like, well, I got a C. You know, you don't want to tell anyone. And so it was not until college I actually failed the same math class 5 times.
Wow.
And in applying for graduation, my counselor actually made a comment and said, well, maybe you should get tested because you're not going to graduate. Because my GPA was well below the average.
Okay.
So therefore I was faced with my last semester in school and not graduating in 5 Fs. So once I was tested with dyslexia, that kind of answered the question of like, gosh, I'm not really slow, I just need proper accommodations, which meant like more time on test, or maybe reading the questions aloud, or maybe in another room, maybe I could have, take my time and do the test.
Right.
So just special accommodations.
Okay.
But I actually went through, my entire schooling years, if you will, without knowing.
Okay.
So it was really challenging for me because I knew I was just as bright as everyone else. I mean, I've owned this business for 7 years.
Right.
It's not like this was easy.
Right.
But what was really challenging was really feeling like I wasn't able to pass a math class, that most of my friends were able to achieve A's and B's.
Right.
And I was consistently getting F's. So that's another part of the mentoring that I do with some of the troubled youth.
Okay.
Some of them do have dyslexia.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of them feel like they're really slow. And they're not slow. We just process information in a different way.
Yeah, just differently.
Yes.
So what is it that you teach them when you are mentoring them with their classes? What exactly are you teaching as a method so that they can learn because they're dyslexic? What exactly do you do?
So what I've been explaining to them is not to go through the test anxiety like we all do.
Right.
And just special things that we all need to know. But in regards to dyslexic people, they really need to know. And it's the basic things that your parents have told you. Get the proper amount of sleep, right? That's ultimately more important.
Right.
And then always eat the morning before a test.
Right.
And when you're in classes, if you haven't been diagnosed and you think that you have dyslexia, sit in the front of the class. Don't sit in the back of the class. Don't worry about your friends in the back chopping it up. Right.
Worry about getting your education first.
Worry about sitting in the front and actually understanding what the instructor is saying. And go to the instructor, get more, more help. Get a tutor. Find out what's wrong. So those type of accommodations have actually helped them until they've actually been tested for the disability.
Okay. Do you find that it's becoming more common in youth? And do you feel that it has been ignored for most youth? Because some youth don't really get the mentoring or the help that they need. They don't even know that they suffer from dyslexia. So what I was wondering is, do you feel that it's more of a need now to have more mentoring programs? Do you feel that this is becoming a real problem?
I do. In fact, what I found in some of the lower socioeconomic areas, that some of the testing isn't even available. So they just figure, if you just can't make it, you just can't make it, which is really, really sad. I was really fortunate. I didn't grow up in a lower socioeconomic area. So actually my school had accommodations, but I couldn't take advantage of those accommodations because I wasn't tested at the time.
Right.
So it's really important for parents to be in tune with their children and really understanding what's going on. I know at times I would write numbers backwards because that's the way I would see them.
It. Okay.
Yes. And even oftentimes when I'm really tired, I'll say a sentence in a different way, and my boyfriend will laugh at me. I'm like, I'm just really tired. But in any event, it's really being in tune with yourself and really understanding that we just process information a little bit differently than other people do. For example, on the GMAT, I got double time to complete my test.
Oh, that's good.
When most people,
they only get that one set time.
Right.
That's good because then it gives you the time that you need to process what you're reading to make sure that you get it correctly.
And actually to read aloud and hear yourself read as well.
Exactly.
So that's really helped me quite a bit.
That's great. Have you ever thought about working with an association that is besides mentoring? Have you ever thought of working or being a spokesperson for an organization regarding dyslexia?
Oh yes, I have thought of it. Although in my time frame that I have now allotted, it makes it pretty challenging. But I do really want to get more involved in it and have more of the lower socioeconomic children tested at an earlier age, because it's nothing worse than feeling like you're not very intelligent in elementary or junior high or high school and not feeling like you can't succeed in college.
Right.
I mean, I wanted to go to college. I wanted to finish. But had I not felt that way, I would have been stuck, thinking I couldn't get through high school.
Right.
So I think it's really important to get tested really early and to understand that there are accommodations that can be made.
Right.